this is what the Raptors have done so many times this year. They don't seem to have any kind of strategy in late in the game or in close games. Put the ball in the hands of your best player and just, let him decide the game. And Barnes almost didn't touch the ball in the second half or in overtime. I think that's ridiculous. And nobody really brought it up.
Yeah. So to me, I think he was gassed. And that's part of the reason I think he gave the ball up. I think by double overtime, he was.
Well, okay, but he wasn't like in the third quarter, the fourth quarter. You shouldn't be gassed.
Well, I would. So there's a couple things on this. One, if you want to look at it from the positive side, they played the best team in the West, essentially straight up.
So what?
Until the end on the road. Yeah, should have been a winnable game. I'm with you 100%.
They were up by 20.
I know. This is going to be, if you're a Raptors fan, it sucks, but like these are the growing pains that you're going to have to deal with. They're going to have to figure out how they can basically win games at the end. They can't close yet. I do think like you saw great signs from Emmanuel Quigley. I mean, like this guy looks like a legitimate big time point guard who they have to resign. But the one thing I am with you, Bob, is that the frustrating thing about last night's game is I think Scotty Barnes has to like be in these positions where either you win or lose with him, and he gave up the ball. Like I thought this. Saying. Yeah, no. I thought like
Let
this
him be the guy.
Right. This year is supposed to be about him at the end of games, either making or missing and getting to the point where he is the guy who's going to determine that. And my only thought is just that he was gassed at the end because otherwise it sort of doesn't
make that's their fault too.
So is that Barnes' fault? Is that
Darko? Fault. It's coach's fault.
Darko's fault? That's what I'm asking.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think listen, it is.
This stuff happens. I mean, like the reality is they're one rebound away. If RJ Barrett doesn't get out of bounds on that rebound in regulation, they win that game. They're up 2. He gets the ball, he gets fouled, he probably knocks down 2 free throws, and it's done. This is what happens with young teams. They don't know how to close. And the question is this group eventually going to be able to take the next couple of steps to be a contender? I think clearly they need a lot more talent than what they have now. And then to get back to Bob's question, the real big question is Scotty Barnes going to be one of these alpha guys like Durant, Curry, etc., or is he more of a number 2? Is he Batman or is he Robin? That's the question.
Well, whatever he is, he's the best player right now. We all agree.
Now, do you believe that, Bob?
Probably he is, because there isn't anybody else, in my opinion. There's nobody else I'm interested in.
You don't think Barrett can carry that load with the way he plays?
No chance.
I'm just asking.
But he's the best player, John. I think you would agree.
Yeah.
And you have to put the ball in his hands when the game is on the line.
Yeah. The one thing about Scotty I will say is, if we're going to be fair, his defense was excellent. So offensively, yeah, he was nowhere late.
That's not why they lost. That's not why they lost, Richard.
I'm just saying, like the guy.
Yeah, but you're making excuses.
No, I'm not making excuses. I mean,
you are.
Bob,
you should go work for Sportsnet again, because that's what they do. That's the other part of what I wanted to say about the game. The coverage of the Raptors on Sportsnet is brutal.
Well, it is. I agree with you that it's more cheerleader than criticism. For
100%.
I agree with that. Yeah, but a lot of. I mean, John, you worked in television production. That's generally speaking, if you're a rights holder, that's pretty par for the course, whether it's in Toronto or whether it's in any other city.
I think that's driven by the team. I really do. I think that I don't. First of all, the game is not produced by Sportsnet employees. The game is produced by Raptor employees.
Right.
So those people are taking their orders not from the people at One Mount Pleasant. They're taking their orders from the people on Bay Street.